This is a pretty simple algebraic problem, and in this case it's asking for the sum of the roots. And to get the sum of the roots, we first have to know what roots are. Roots are values of x, in this case because the variable is x, that make the equation true. And the variable can change. It could be a, b, c, or x, y, z. It doesn't really matter. It's just based on what the problem gives you or the equation gives you. So all we're trying to do is find values of x that make the equation true. Make the equation true. And we can't sit here all day and just guess and check numbers. Two reasons why it won't work. Number one, we have we have a time limit, 75 minutes for the AMC 10, and just guessing and checking numbers won't get you will take too long. Okay. And then the second all a second this second most likely you'll get it wrong because there are too many solutions to guess and check. So what's the best way here? So first we can see that this equation isn't simplified, and we can simplify it. So let's make sure to simplify first. 2x plus 3, because in the unsimplified form it won't work. Plus 2x plus 3. I'm just rewriting it so we have an easier time later. And we want, as always, we want to make sure that it's nice and organized. All of our work is nice and organized, so we make sure that we don't lose the 6 points in our by a silly mistake. Okay, so we can expand 2x plus 3 multiplied by x minus 4, and often do the crossing the arrow trick. So we make sure to multiply 2x squared, and then we multiply again 2x multiplied by -4. We just multiply in, and I like to keep it orderly with the arrows. So minus 8x plus 3x minus 12. So in a separate video, if you don't understand this, in a separate video, I'll explain how variables work and basically a crash course on algebra. So we have this, and we're going to simplify. We're going to expand this as well. 2x plus 3 multiplied by x minus 6. So we have we're adding, and then we expand, so it's 2x squared plus minus 12x plus 3x minus 18, and is equal to 0. Okay, so you can cross out terms once we finish this, because we have a lot of terms that need to be put together. So 2x squared plus 2x squared is 4x squared. We cross that out so we don't use that twice. So minus 8x plus 3x, which is minus 5x, minus 12x, which is minus 17x, plus 3x, which is minus 14x, which is equal to negative 14x. So we also have negative 12 plus negative 18 is equal to negative 30. And that's equal to 0. We can simplify this again so we don't work with large numbers. 2x squared minus 7x minus 15, and 0 divided by 2 is obviously 0. Anything divided by 0, anything that divides 0 is 0. Now we factor 2x squared minus 7x minus 15, and there are multiple different ways to factor, and I'll also cover this in my crash course for algebra later on. But for this sake, the coefficients are smaller, so it's easier to factor with the cross method, and the cross method is just multiplying 5 and 3, and we subtract 5. So the cross method is basically multiplying 2 and negative 5, so it's negative 10 plus 3, which is negative 7. You want to make sure that's equal to the coefficient of the coefficient that's with x. or any variable, any interchangeable variable. So we write it out as 2x plus 3. Imagine this as a plus multiplied by x minus 5. And if you don't get it, it's perfectly fine because algebra is a pretty um, complex like concept to understand. But again, I'll make a crash course on it. So once we factor, we have 2x plus 3, x minus 5. And if you expand it, you'll see that's the same as this equation. So that means we did it right. Okay, so 2x plus 3, x minus 5. And to find the roots, we want to make sure that either one is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. That's because 0 multiplied by the other equation, which can be anything, is 0. So the two roots are x minus 5 is 0, which means that x is equal to 5. And when x is 5, that means this has to be whatever term. It doesn't really matter because 0 multiplied by 0 is 0. So that works. So x minus 5. And we also have this equation. So 2x plus 3 is equal to 0 as well. In a different scenario other than x minus 5, which is equal to 0. So we have 2x minus is equal to negative 3. X is equal to negative 3 over 2. Okay, so we have our two roots here. These are the roots that satisfy the equation and make it true, which is equal to 0. That's what we want to do. Make the equation equal to 0. So we have x is equal to negative 3 over 2, and x is equal to 5. And all we did was first we expanded because we can't plug in random roots and guess and check because number one, two reasons why, as I explained earlier, expanded the equation. 2, we simplified, and then 3, we factored and solved for the roots. So we factored here, we simplified, factored for the roots, and we solved. Factored, solved for the roots. And although it might look complex on the outside, wow, there's so much work. However, these are basic algebra problems. They're pretty straightforward. On what you're supposed to do, and you find the roots at the end. As long as you don't get any of the other processes wrong. So it's saying the sum of the roots. So negative 3 over 2 plus 5. Negative 3 over 2 plus 5. And 5 can be rewritten as 10 over 2 minus 3 over 2, which is just 7 over 2. So the answer, thank God we have it, and the answer key or answer box or answer choices is A.